19 million for voice synthesizer ElevenLabs, Vimeo releases a new suite of AI tools, and a new study that suggests that 73% of consumers trust AI-generated content. Welcome back to the AI Breakdown Brief, all the AI headline news you need in 5 or 7 or whatever number of minutes it takes. Today we kick off with a study from Capgemini Research. Their new report is called Why Consumers Love Generative AI. And there are a couple big banner headlines that are really quite surprising. First of all, they show that boomers followed by Gen X have the highest level of awareness of AI tools. Millennials come in the lowest in this survey. The study also suggests that they're really trusting when it comes to AI. 73% of consumers trust content written by generative AI. 53% of consumers trust generative AI-assisted financial planning. 67% of consumers believe they could benefit from receiving medical advice from generative AI. And 66% of consumers would seek advice from a generative AI tool on personal interactions or relationships. Now, of course, watching this space every day doesn't make me an authority, but I would put these all at significantly higher by a factor of maybe double than I would have anticipated. The study also suggests that people don't really have a sense of risk. 49% of consumers they surveyed were unconcerned about fake news stories created by AI. Only 34% were worried about phishing attacks that used AI to deceive them. And only 33% were worried about things like non-recognition and non-payment of artists whose work is used in training generative AI models. Now, then there's a whole segment about how AI could be a tool for consumer search and for product search, and that I all buy. These are completely low stakes and obvious ways that this technology is going to impact our existing online experience, so no real skepticism there. So I tried to look a little bit deeper into how this could possibly have come up with these results. Again, they just feel really off to me. But Capgemini is a respected source for this. It's not some random company or something like that. Now, the only thing that I could find that might explain this, at least a little bit, is that the survey took place primarily in April 2023, but between October 22 and April 23. This might explain why people aren't particularly concerned about the risks. Obviously, as you can see from this show, the AI safety conversation has accelerated dramatically over the last 2 months, with high-profile defections of people like Geoffrey Hinton from Google. And alongside that, there has been more concern generally about AI risk, not just the existential or extinction risk, but around the short-term risks that exist already. Still, overall, super interesting and definitely at least one data point that we need to consider as we think about what the world thinks of AI. Speaking of what people think about AI, it has been very expensive to be an AI skeptic for the last few months. The Wall Street Journal has reported that this year, short sellers have lost $120 billion in US markets. And of course, the primary driver of those markets has been AI and AI enthusiasm. The tension all year has been, on the one hand, really uncertain macroeconomic conditions, including a Fed that's still tightening, banking crises, tightening credit, worsening liquidity conditions, all the normal things that would make a market worse. But those things, of course, have come up against the unbelievable strength of stocks like Meta and Microsoft and Nvidia. In the first half of June alone, short sellers have lost $72 billion. Meanwhile, over in the world's wealthiest sector, that group has seen their net worths go up by more than $150 billion thanks to AI this year. Meta is up 134% on the year, increasing Zuckerberg's wealth by over $57 billion. Oracle is up 55%, giving Larry Ellison a net bump of $47 billion and making him pass Bill Gates for the first time ever. Gates himself has gotten $24 billion richer, as has Nvidia founder Jensen Huang. Good work if you can get it. Now, meanwhile, a company that's on the other end of its spectrum is ElevenLabs. They're a voice cloning and voice synthesizer product and have just raised a $19 million Series A. Now, you'll remember last week we talked about their new speech classifier. Speech classifier is a safety technology that allows people to upload an audio clip and find out if ElevenLabs models were used to generate any portion of that audio. Speech classifier has come online, and ElevenLabs has also announced a new feature suite called Projects. It's a production workflow that allows people to create and edit long-form spoken content directly in the platform. Speaking of AI creation, Vimeo has joined the AI battle. They've just announced a new suite of products that include 1, a prompting tool that can generate scripts in seconds based on a few keywords as well as a description of tonality. And then they've also added a Descript style editing suite where you can edit the transcript and that actually edits the video as well. It can automatically pull out pauses and fillers. And generally, if you've used Descript, you know just how game-changing this type of video editing is. Now, when it comes to the question of whether AI will be massively job-destroying or will instead usher in a new golden era in which humans can use their times for higher-order pursuits, Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky believes the latter. In a conversation on Jason Calacanis' This Week in Startups, Chesky said that he believes that AI will propel millions of new startups. He said that he thinks that AI will allow engineers at Airbnb to be 30% more productive in the next year, and that the net impact was going to be a lot more creation. Chesky said, "I think anyone can do what only a software engineer allowed you to do 5 years ago. It's going to be awesome for many people. It's going to be wildly disruptive for others." Lastly today, Infigen, which stands presumably for Infinite Generator, it's an open source procedurally generated photorealistic dataset for 3D vision. So this is not something that's created by AI. It's just procedurally generated by math. The way that they position it is as an automatic generator for 3D scenes. As NVIDIA's Dr. Jim Fan puts it, every little detail is randomized and customizable, even the wrinkles on a flower petal, and it features ground truth automatic annotations, optical flow, 3D scene flow, depth, surface normals, panoptic segmentation, occlusion boundaries. Now, Dr. Jim points out that this could be incredibly valuable for the training of future AI models. He says when we run out of good training data in reality, simulation is the next goldmine. So even though this isn't AI itself, it could have implications for how future AI is developed. And of course, it's part of this trend of 3D world creation that is just getting so much easier every single day. Anyways, guys, that is it for today's AI Breakdown brief. If you're enjoying, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will be back soon for the main AI Breakdown.